Alright, it is about time we record this Beyond the Wall. Admittedly, the episode, I haven't watched it since like a week and a half ago, and a little heads up, guys, if you haven't seen the news, we will be starting Fear the Walking Dead after season 10. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that, we are here to talk about episode, what episode was it? Episode 19 of season 10. I'm going to start with some comments on YouTube, because I don't usually use the YouTube comments, but there are a couple. First questions first, guys. Was Daryl wrong to prioritize his search for Rick over building a life with Leia? Was it Leia or Lay? I can't remember. Was he wrong? No. Like, I think maybe, in obviously seeing it from our point of view, it's highly unlikely that Rick would have been found anyway, let alone the fact that we already know he had been airlifted somewhere. It's easy for us to say on the outside that he wasted a lot of time, but for someone that feels even partly responsible in a way, and to find his brother, who saved his life many times, and both of them to each other, I think that he felt he needed to search for him. Even if it was just to find a body, I think he just felt like he needed, one, the closure for himself, for everyone else, and to do Rick justice, do you know what I mean? Like rather than him just disappear, like, in the wind. So yes, I don't think that he did wrong. Genuinely, I think Leia, I swear that's her name, giving him an ultimatum was a little bit messed up, because it was like, me, Rick, or your other family. It's like, damn, bro, that's his family. Rick is his family, guys, at the end of the day. So I don't think he was wrong. I think that if he didn't do it then, he was going to do it at some point. He would never have been able to forgive himself or rest or come back if he had not at least done the search justice. No, admittedly, he did spend like years out there, which is crazy. That's insane. Like, no one else searched that much. Do you know what I mean? Like, people kind of accepted. I don't think he did wrong. I think he had a choice to make, and he'd never be able to forgive himself if he chose, because he would have probably thought that would have felt like choosing himself over his family. That would have what it would have been like. It's not so much about Leia choosing her, it's choosing, he probably wanted to choose her. That wouldn't surprise me if that was the life he wanted, to settle down, to feel at ease finally. But there would have been a little bone in his body that went, well, that's a selfish choice, and that's just not who I am, and we know that's not who he is. But yeah, so no, I don't think he was wrong in doing that. It depends on what you mean by wrong. If you mean, was it a waste of time from our perspective and you looking at it, yeah, like it is. Like, he's searching for nothing. We know there's nothing there, right? I guess with that same logic, imagine Michonne hadn't gone out with Virgil. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine, it kind of, to me, is a very similar scenario to her now going out to God knows where to look for Rick, right? Like, I think that would be the right decision for the moment. Do you know what I mean? But if we somehow knew that Rick was dead and she was going out, then it would be that you'd be thinking, was it a waste of time? But it's not about us as a viewer and knowing more than the characters do. It's about the characters, the closure, and what it means to be a family. And yeah, yeah. What do you think of Aaron and Gabriel's dynamic? I think it's really interesting, since both started off as weak people with good hearts, but as they've become more badass, Aaron kept a good heart, whereas Gabriel hasn't really. I'm trying to think of their journeys, like, as a whole. You know what's really kind of annoying? Like, it's kind of hard to remember everything that's happened. Like, it's all a bit of a blur now. People are in different places in this world, and we've spoken about this many a times, like, the different trajectories and positional character development. It's like, it's very, very different character to character. It's not consistent in any way, shape, or form. Maybe down the line, Aaron does have his tumble. You know, maybe. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's just Gabriel's having his now, and I think the part of the thing with Gabriel, as well as a slightly unique take on all of this, is he was a very religious man, very, very faith-driven, and you go years and years and years and years, and it almost, I think, for Gabriel, feels like the world is testing his faith, and at times it is asking him to be faithful in detriment to people he cares about. Like, that's what I think in his mind it feels like, right? Like, he feels like he can't have both things. Like, he can either be all faithful or all family. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like he can't have both, because if he's all faithful, then people can get hurt. Like, I think that's just what he's starting to sort of realize and pick up on. And at the end of the day, would he pick his faith or his family? Like, what would you pick? Most people would pick their family, right, if they had to pick. So I just think that's what's leaching out at the moment, is He's realizing the dangers, and the world is making sense to him in a different perspective, and we've come across enough people now to lose trust in people, and to the point where it starts to feel like the majority, which is like they were saying, right? The rule, the exception to the rule, like blah blah blah, basically saying that most people will do bad now. The thing with Gabriel, right, and the whole faith thing is, I do feel like eventually he will realize it's not about just dropping the faith completely, because right now it'll feel like, nope, I'm not interested, sort of thing, like it's not where I'm heading anymore. But I think down the line he'll start finding meaning and things, and exploring different aspects of faith, because eventually we know, right, this world isn't going to continue to go to shit. If this series ended with no leap towards the vision of Carl and Judith's and all of that, the good, right, if it doesn't sort of head in that kind of direction, now that we are a very established group, then we've failed, right? And we have become a part of the rule, as they're talking about. Maybe we need to become the exception to the rule to break the rule. Do you know what I mean? To break that loop of violence, because that's what it is. It's a loop of violence. We can do that, but not everyone has that luxury. I've been playing this game DayZ, right? Almost every time I come across a person, like a real person, my reaction is to shoot them. Because I'm by myself, I have very limited supplies, I need food, I need water, I need clothes, I need medicine, to kill or to be killed. I don't think a single person on that game that I've met had tried to speak and be peaceful. It always goes like that. And you get to a point where you're just like, no, I will be the one to shoot first, because I will not be the first to get shot. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that is making any sense. But if I was in a big group, it would be different. You know, there'd be bargaining power. Like, you'd have the ability to set down rules and regulations and grow a community and help people. Do you know what I mean? And the risk be much more minimal. But we'll get into all that risk stuff soon, because there is stuff to talk about with some of these characters in this episode. But no, I love their dynamic. I think I really like this. It's actually quite a comedic dynamic, talking like from a writing perspective. And I think they need each other. They do, right? Like, you even see in the episode, Aaron's sort of losing faith. And I know Gabriel's sort of saying that he doesn't want to preach anymore, but you can see throughout the episode he has faith. You know, he's like, one more place, one more tower, one more shop. He pushes Aaron into that. I mean, come the end of the episode, one more. Like, it feels very symbolic of faith being at the very cliff's edge and really seeing how many more steps you can take. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, they need each other. I'm very glad they're not separate, and just to view the situations that we've just witnessed as well, like, we're going to need to look from both perspectives too, because I don't think the episode ends with them agreeing with each other's decisions. What do you make of the Reapers? I don't really know, Like, my first thought was like, they can't be that bad, but what kind of scares me about them, just the very little that I do know, is that they don't seem to have a purpose. Unless Maggie still hasn't told us everything, there's a reason why they're attacking, even if it's revenge. Like, I don't sense revenge. I don't sense anything. With Alpha, there was a purpose. With Negan, there was a purpose. This feels purposeless right now, at least. And that's kind of scary, because you're like, you don't really know how far that will go. But you sort of go through this sort of conversational pattern every time we meet new people anyway. But if there is no purpose, it is freaky. It is terrifying. Last man standing kind of logic. That's scary logic. And the whole suicidal bomber sort of thing, that's freaky. The only thing I can think of is if Maggie has a past, or she has instigated something somehow and she's not telling us, and there is some plot here to get back at them, because they travelled a long way to follow them. Why? That's so weird. Unless they just consider themselves hunters. That's scary. Last man standing kind of logic is freaky. I will admit though, the first episode, like, that, there ain't no Alpha or Beta or Negan yet, but who knows? I don't know what this is going to turn into. Do you think Gabriel was justified in smashing dude's head in? Or was it too far? Also, do you think Gabe's faith really is slipping now, or do you think he's just having a moment of identity crisis? So I'll answer the second part of the question first. Do I think his faith is slipping? As I said before, I think he is unsure what his faith means now, or what to do with it, because I do think that there are situations coming that are testing his faith and his diligence to his family, and at times it's testing them separately, and like it's like he has to pick. So I think rather than his faith waning, I think he's struggling with the idea that of faith comes first. I don't know if it ever really... he comes across to me as a guy that's family first, right? And most of the time, in a real-world situation, you don't need to pick between your family and faith. In the Walking Dead universe, there will be times when you have to prioritize the health and safety of your family and your friends. And sometimes, if the risk is so high, the idea of just relying on faith, doesn't that terrify you? I think that's what he's going through. I think that he is struggling because he doesn't know whether he's capable of making those decisions anymore. And I think he wants to sort of keep the safety of his family and his friends in his own two hands. So do I think it's disappearing? No. I think what will happen is he will go through this period of questioning, having to choose, but then it'll evolve into realizing that faith, it doesn't necessarily need to be like faith in one thing. He can have faith in his family and himself, and that things will work out the way they are. Trust your gut. Have faith that you're making the right decision for the moment. I think that's what he needs to realize, rather than just faith that things will sort themselves out. Faith in a better world and a future that they need to build, right? That they owe it to everyone to come and everyone before to try and build that. That's what I think he will begin to explore. And so no, I don't think it's slipping away. I think it is an identity thing, yes. We've taken a ginormous hit and we are in a dire situation, and I think most people would question the universe and the meaning of life if so many things turn south for good people. And I know some of us are questioning whether we are the good people, but I think Gabriel can look at his child and Aaron's child and think they're good people. Even if he doesn't see it in himself, he can look at them and go, these are good people. So do I think he was just fine smashing the guy's head in, or was it too far? Okay, this is a kind of complicated one. I saw someone mentioning about, do I know how the guns work? No, I don't. So I don't know how those weapons work. By chance, evil guy, I've forgotten his name already. If by chance he knew which one was the bullet the whole time, then I have a little bit more lenience for the game. But the way I viewed it is that he Russian roulette that thing, boom, tested their faith and tested their bond. That's wrong if it's just blind, right? Because they could have died on the first bullet. But let's just if I take the word for it that he always knew, do I think he would have hurt them anyway? Well, he wasn't going to let them go anytime soon, right? He was a mentally challenged, very challenged person. We saw it. We many a times have come across situations where we meet characters and the question becomes, are they too far gone? That's always the question. Are they too far gone? Honestly, I think the wrong decision morally was killing him like that, because his guard did come down, his weapon went away, he was letting them go. There was an opportunity there. An opportunity. Not saying it would have gone positively. Like I said, it's a risk. And like I said before, Gabriel is battling with the idea of taking those decisions and making those risks. What Gabriel witnessed in that moment was a guy that was willing to go as far as he did for a boar, some whiskey, and that's it. If he was just a survivalist and he just rocked in there and killed us, that's a more forgiving thing than entrapping you. And that's torture. It's a form of torture to put you through that kind of abuse. Like, it does tell you a bit about the character. Now, you don't know everything about him, but you get a very good idea of what kind of person he is. He reminded me a little bit of a worse version of Merle. So do I think he's wrong morally? Yes, because of the circumstance. But do I think that in the state we're in and the point of the show we're at, do I think it was the right decision? Yes. Someone that will do that to someone for no reason, it's freaky. And then it kind of just confirms it when you go upstairs anyway, right? What he did to his brother is mad. And what his brother did is mad too. That the whole family, the genetic pool is kind of a bit whack. It's hard to answer it because you don't know the brothers up there. You don't know the full extent. Like I said, you are making a decision based on your gut, which Gabriel's been struggling with. And what's the only thing you can control in that situation? Your own actions and your own safety. If you make the first move and you make the first decision, you've protected the people you care about. I think that's the way Gabriel looked at it. And honestly, in the situation we're in, I don't think we would have had the resources to deal with a guy like that. Like, he was all over the place. But what I said in the reaction was that the best thing to probably have done would have been to have left them there. Knocked him out and just gone. That risk, I feel, is a lot easier to take than bringing him back. I don't know if I personally would have killed him. Maybe I would have. I don't know. Like, Gabriel's done it, and Gabriel's, a long time ago, you would never have imagined it. In the moment, I don't even know. That's how messed up that family was. And then what the brother did is mad too. He shot his family, played the game, and then he just got chained up there to live with their corpses. And that tells you a lot about the guy that we killed, but it also tells you a bit about his brother too. This world changes people, guys. Some people more than others. If you're talking about justification of why Gabriel do it, yes, I think a lot of people will back what he did. A lot of people will understand what he did. No one's going to be butthurt or look at Gabriel differently. Maybe Aaron a little bit, but no one's going to lose sleep over that decision, because we've come far enough now where at times it feels like a necessity, and we know I can trust Gabriel's judgment. I have faith in what he believes is right. And the minute I don't, I will tell you. So yes, I think it was justified. I'm not going to hate him for it. Maybe he needed to be tested. I don't know. Maybe he needed the questions from Rick. Maybe it should have been an attempt to see if he was salvageable. But I think going upstairs just answers everything. Even if it hadn't happened there, it answers the question. And there's even a part of me that's glad it did happen there, because if we did go upstairs, things might have gotten a little bit spicy, which we don't want. Could anything have been done to save May's brother hidden upstairs? Should they have put him out of his misery or left him? I, in the moment, literally mentioned putting him out of his misery. And you would have seen the reaction. So hard to say, but my gut would have said to just put him out of his misery so he could be with his family. That's what my gut said before it even happened, so I don't even need to answer that question in that sense. Do I think you're salvageable? No, you don't go through something like that and not be like permanently damaged. I don't see a way. I don't think I've ever seen something so horrible. There's no way I can imagine someone recover from that. What does the Russian roulette game symbolize in the context of trust and trauma in the apocalypse? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? To me, it symbolizes the bond people have with each other. Fighting for oneself or fighting for each other is a thing. Like, if you think people that choose to shoot others clearly have a belief that this world has completely and utterly turned to me or them. No matter who. Or, like in our sense, in our group, which I think we're a very unique situation in the sense that we've grown around each other and built these relationships. It's not that simple with us, because we know that we're willing to risk our own lives to protect other people's in our family. So there's still that there. It's evident. What's-his-name was trying to prove a point that everyone's the same. Everyone would point the gun at elsewhere. What it symbolizes in this sense is that there are still people out there that wouldn't point the gun elsewhere. So, the world is still salvageable. It gives people, it's like hope. It symbolizes to me that there is hope, that there is still good in people. You point the gun anywhere but yourself. If you point the gun out at someone else, then that is the rule, right? Isn't that what they were just talking about, the rule and the exception to the rule? That's the rule. He's claiming that 90% of people will point the gun away from their own head. Whereas we're trying to say that the faith in humanity should be that most people would try and protect others. Do you think Lay left on her own or something happened to her? I think something happened. Her apartment was destroyed. I would not be shocked in the slightest if she got taken by A or B people. Though we still have not looked into that. And it's another weird disappearance. No note, nothing. Destroyed house. That's odd, right? That's not normal. What do you think may be the consequences of that food shortage at Alexandria and Oceanside? Can it be fixed? Are the communities done for? If so, can we even go? If so, where can we even go? Sorry. Wow, it's not a light situation. My hope is that Michonne has found somewhere. Because look, nothing's going to magically fix itself overnight. The land we're at now is crippled. In time it'll replenish, but we don't have time. We are going to have to move. We are going to have to outstretch. We are going to have to find suitable replacements. Maybe even split the communities back up again and try and rebuild other areas. I don't know. The land where we are right now is crippled. Where can we even go? The only options I can think of right now are where Rick is, where Michonne is, or we need to try and immediately or rebuild. Or Maggie takes us to a community she's in the Wop Wops, wherever she's gone. I don't know where she's gone. I bloody well hope if that does happen, it's not when Michonne, before Michonne comes back. And if it is, someone's going to have to wait. But yeah, we do, it feels like there are a few very risky options, but there are options. It's not like we know we're in impending doom about to die. Alright guys, that's all. So generally, that episode I thought was really good. One of the better ones of the fillers. Not that they're fillers, but one of the better episodes of all of them. It was very thought-provoking, had me on the edge of my seat, guys, and it really does ask the question about, can we get back to what we thought was the rule? Carl's vision, can we go towards it? We're not currently heading in the right direction. Killing that guy was not a step in that direction, as much as it felt like necessary in the moment. It does feel like obviously Rick pushed for Carl's vision and we were really heading that way. Rick's gone, bridge destroyed. Bridge destroyed felt very symbolic in a bad way. Alpha and the herd, it's all kind of pushed us onto a whole nother path, which we don't want to be on. It's fine, we can survive on this path, but that is not the people we want to become and not the place we want to go. It just asks a lot of questions and thoughts that need to be had, and there will be ongoing discussions about this. And you know what? I think this is almost perfectly timing itself with Negan and what his fate will be, because as much as we thought there was a clear plan for him now, Maggie returning has thrown that in the tumble dryer, meaning all of this logic that we've been having is not going to be void of that discussion, which scares me because I don't believe that he should just be yonked out into the wops. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that he has earned his opportunity to build something new. So it's just a conversation now. But all of this, maybe Negan becomes very symbolic of Carl's vision again, which would be a very cool, well-rounded story, right? Carl tried to convince Negan of the vision, tried to convince Rick of the vision. Both of them sort of butt heads about it, and then it's all kind of estranged from that. Wouldn't it be such a beautiful story if Negan and Rick came back together to put us on that right path? That'd be amazing, bro. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. Not saying that it's going to happen, but whoa. Anyway, I need to get ready to go because I want to go watch a movie before work. So, if you enjoyed this ever, guys, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. And of course, follow the Discord. No Instagram at the moment. Follow the Discord, guys. If you haven't seen The Health Beyond the Wall, guys, maybe go and watch it if you're interested in the upload plan with Fear the Walking Dead. And there will be a break from The Walking Dead. I haven't said that yet. I know a lot of you won't be happy about that, but with the surgery and all that, and then Fear the Walking Dead, I'm sure you guys will understand. But the video is there. But yeah, that's all from me, guys. As ever, this has been more Dan. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.